Welcome back, everybody, to day number 2 of the CCAA Men's Volleyball National Championships. One game down, we have 3 more to go, and this next one should be another stellar. It's the Dragons of Sainte-Anne taking on the VIU Mariners. I will be back with you post-game for the player of the game interview, but for now, to tee up the action, here's Matt and Andrew.
Thank you, Zach. A good old-fashioned East versus West, all the way from Vancouver Island. The Mariners taking on the Dragons by way of Nova Scotia. My name is Matt Hamill, alongside my broadcast partner, Andrew Milani. Andrew, it should be a great one. We talk about that cross-Canada matchup. 2 teams that did not quite win their quarterfinal matchups on day 1, but a good opportunity here to kind of forge that way on towards that bronze medal game, which we see the bracket break down here.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, this bronze medal bracket. Really the biggest grind here. You got to play the most games to get that bronze medal, so the winner there is really going to earn that. The winner of this game will play the loser of match number 7. That'll be determined later today, but as we mentioned before, it's going to be a grind. VIU had multiple opportunities to close out Sherbrooke yesterday, just couldn't get it done. Dragons, a little bit of a tougher time against the Humber Hawks. They lost in straight sets. Chance for either of them to redeem themselves this afternoon and stay alive for tomorrow.
A lot of firepower for this Mariners team. They got that beautiful royal blue color on the left. Now, their season record, really, in a tough Pac-West conference out there in British Columbia, 10-10 on the year, but that does not illustrate just how strong this Mariners team is. And for the Dragons, coming out of the Atlantic Conference as champions, we're going to see certainly a good contrast of different skill sets here, but we saw a remarkable performance from the rookie, Lucas Torres from VIU. We'll step aside now for the player introductions.
And the 2023 CCAA Men's Volleyball National Championships. This is the bronze quarterfinal between the Vancouver Island University Mariners and the University Sainte-Anne Dragons. Introducing the officials. Your first official, Taras Ilku, and your second official, Hugo Giroux. The reserve official is Darren Doucette. The lines people are Joseph Lau, David Williams, Shannon Walters, and Natasha Kakuin. And the reserve lines person is Jeff Sepp. It's now time to meet the starting lineups. First, for the University Sainte-Anne Dragons. A 6'4" middle out of Plymouth, Nova Scotia, number 3, Jeremy Bork. A 6'1" setter out of Bedford, Nova Scotia, number 6, Joshua Acoyne. A 6'2" left side out of Wenchport, Nova Scotia, number 9, Brady Spinney. A 6'2" outside hitter out of Plymouth, Nova Scotia, number 10, Alec Coutreau. A 5'11" left side out of Dieppe, New Brunswick, number 12, Louis-Philippe Leblanc. A 6'5" middle out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, number 13, Oliver Rutherford. Your starting libero out of Dieppe, New Brunswick is number 7, Vincent Doucette. The head coach for the University Sainte-Anne Dragons is Jason Melanson. And now the starting lineup for the Vancouver Island University Mariners. A 6'2" setter out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 8, Owen Dick. A 6'5" right side out of Kelowna, BC, number 9, Max McDonald. A 6'7" middle out of Berlin, Germany, number 10, Philip Treidel. A 6'7" middle out of Brazil, number 11, Daniel Mascarenas. A 6'4" outside hitter out of Brazil, number 12, Lucas Torres. A 6'1" outside hitter out of St. Andrews, Manitoba, number 14, Rylan Van Kooten. Your starting liberos, first out of Calgary, Alberta, number 1, Enrico Del Mundo. And out of Victoria, BC, number 17, Carter Monroe. The head coach for the Vancouver Island University Mariners is Abe Avender.
There's our player introductions, and teams will exchange handshakes and battle of the blue here today, partner.
Yeah, different shades. The VIU Mariners and that light blue that we were really admiring yesterday, that kind of like Carolina Panthers blue.
That's what we're saying. Is there any other team in sports that rocks that nice blue that we see from VIU? And yeah, I guess you have to go to the NFL, the Carolina Panthers. That black, nice blue and white color scheme. Now, Andrew, we saw both these teams drop their quarterfinal matches yesterday. What stuck out to you for VIU? Of course, number 12, the rookie Torres, has just put on a phenomenal performance in that loss to Sherbrooke.
Yeah, it was the pair of Brazilians that really stood out. Daniel Mascarenhas and Lucas Torres really leading the way. But with VIU, they found themselves on top, 4 or 5 points. It seemed like every set, but just couldn't finish. That was a big problem yesterday against Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke just finding ways to get back in.
Yeah, VIU up 2-0 in that match and ultimately losing 3 straight in probably the most exciting volleyball game, not just of the day, but in recent memory.
Definitely the most exciting volleyball game I've seen in here in the Hawks Nest live, that's for sure.
And it's the Dragons to Sainte-Anne starting things off with the serve. Nova Scotia's only French-speaking post-secondary institution. Looking to start off with the point, but it'll be an error hit into the net that gives VIU the first point of the game.
I'll send Mascarenhas to the service line. He was big yesterday, 14 kills, only 2 errors on 24 swings. So 500 on his swings, that's huge.
No surprise, Alex Gautreau, the ACAA Player of the Year, was leading the way for Sainte-Anne in scoring in that matchup against Humber. So we talked about Sherbrooke and VIU, that very entertaining game that VIU ultimately lost, earning their way into this bronze medal bracket. But for Sainte-Anne, that tough assignment against the home court Humber Hawks, Gautreau shined, but the Hawks beat them in 3 straight sets. Good spike there is right up at the net. Jeremy Bork, AKA Jeb, with the big hit up and down.
Should mention as well that each of these teams go in with the same starters, with one exception. Ben Pike not in the starting lineup for VIU, being replaced by Philip Tritel, who kind of made his presence known late in that game.
Brady Spinney's serve, fielded. And there's the rookie Torres, and getting established early. Number 12 in light blue with the big hit.
Yesterday in that post-game interview, he said he doesn't really kind of feel out the other team's defense, just kind of swings away, and it worked there.
That was a great quote. I had our sideline reporter, Zach Benoit, who's going to be later in the broadcast speaking with the player of the game from the winning side. So we'll look forward to that later on here on the Hawk Sports Network. But yeah, Torres was that player of the game yesterday for the losing side. He got a chance to be interviewed and said, you know, does he really aim or is he just swinging as hard as he can? He says, I'm just swinging out there.
Gotta appreciate the honesty. Great quote.
He's like, I don't spend too much time reading defense. Number 12 there with the great hairdo says, I just hit that thing. Let's take a second look. Replay in full effect. Finding that line as Sainte-Anne trailed by just 1. Seed up there, quick look, and that's the benefit of being able to leap into the air like Max McDonald. Seemed to hang up there forever. Let's take another look.
Got up there and just kind of slammed that ball down. That soft touch worked to perfection.
And here's the rookie, of which we've opined so much about, Torres. And he's gonna send that one outside, and that's just one aspect of his game that is so strong. He led the team in service aces, did the rookie. Torres also averaged about 4.6 points per set, leading this Mariners team in his inaugural collegiate campaign. 4-3 our score now. Still that 1-point deficit for the Dragons. Somehow getting it over there. Outstanding work, Alex Gautreau. And finding the line as that Mariners lead now grows to 2. Let's take a second look.
Another look at that kill by Philip Tritel. Got all of that one. Going cross court, finding that back corner.
So head coach for this VIU team, Abe Avender, in his 11th season. His assistant coach, Wayne Wachowski. And for the Dragons, head coach Jason Melanson, who's actually a former Sainte-Anne player himself. He was actually here at the CCAA Nationals with the Dragons back in 1991. Of course, the last appearance for Sainte-Anne in the CCAAs was back in 1996. So about a 27-year absence, but here they are, the team from Nova Scotia, setting up at the net here. Big blast from Alec Cotreau. And Torres steps in, and right there, that was kind of best on best, as Cotreau got the better of Torres that time. Let's take another look.
Cotreau and Rutherford's in that big block there. There it is, Cotreau just getting that hand on that one. Off a great attempt by Lucas Torres. He got all that ball.
Both teams leading scorers kind of facing off there. And Sainte-Anne continue to roll as they now have the lead after that service ace from LP LeBlanc.
Van Kooten with the ball handling error there.
LP back with the serve by way of New Brunswick in his second year with the program. And finding a little sweet spot there. It looked like Andrew, maybe a miscommunication. A lot of Mariners kind of spreading out there and letting that one just fall in between them.
Dragons taking a lead here.
See if they can keep the gravy train running along here. LP serves it in. Good blocking effort there off the big blast. Somehow the Dragons are going to keep this rally going. Up front at the net, awkward play. That one might have been landing out of bounds, played by the Dragons. Good block up front there by Oliver Rutherford. And just dumping it over now. Let's see what VIU can set up. A pretty definitive blast off the hands of one of two outstanding Brazilians on this Mariners team. That time, Daniel Mascarenhas taking care of business.
We'll get another look at this and some great pressure being applied by VIU in that low rally there. Mascarenhas getting the end of it done there. But on that rally, a lot of plays there where basically went right up to the net, and VIU didn't waste any time setting up, just went right for the kill. Put a lot of pressure on the Dragons.
Big play up at the net and just dumped in this time. Another setup for Torres, but he blasts that one way long. So much hitting power from number 12, but sometimes you just uncork a little too strong and it goes a bit long.
Yeah, we mentioned before, he goes for power, and he certainly went for it there on that big swing. Just a little long.
So the Dragons with a 2-point lead. Set over to Tritel. Finds a spot, and the Mariners draw back within one.
Tritel 3 kills already in this set. Been all over the court for VIU.
Now VIU, one of only two teams who are at the tournament who did not win their conference. VIU came in second to the Camosun Chargers, and just how strong that Pac West division is. The runner-up VIU Mariners made their way to this tournament. And of course, here in Ontario, it's the Fanshawe Falcons who did not quite win provincial gold, falling to Humber, settling for silver. Falcons also earning a spot here at this tournament.
VIU earning this wild card basically because Camosun won the national championship last year, so that second place in your conference gets that wild card, and then Fanshawe earning the wild card because of Humber being the host.
And stepping into it, no surprise to see Alec Cotreau continuing his offensive domination. Look at that, beating LeBlanc.
Got that big left hand on top of that one, no mistake.
2-point lead for the Dragons. Familiar territory for this team in set one. And they'll send that one long.
Had 3 errors on that game yesterday against the Hawks. There's 6 aces though. So it could be a big weapon from that service line.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup here. I mean, you saw Sainte-Anne, who were finding great difficulty against Humber yesterday. VIU thought maybe they had their spot in the semifinal round for the gold medal punch, but nice, delicate touch there by the Mariners will give them the point.
That one just looked like it got a piece of the line. We'll get another look. Set up there. And that quick little tip there. Oh, definitely in.
Little element of creativity there.
Nice little play by Owen Dick.
Mascarenas serve. Put in play and teed up, and Jeremy Bork, Jeb back to business. Let's take another look.
The man they call Jeb, the middle blocker, they're getting all over that one. Perfect setup there. He just got on top of that perfectly.
Serve and play from Spinney. A lot of lumber on that one. A lot of lumber on that kill from Lucas Torres.
Classic Lucas Torres right there. Get on top of that one, swinging away. We'll get another look.
Such a fun player to watch. And he's been making plays like that all season long. In just his first year, so amazing to see a rookie have this big of an impact. Not surprised to see him named the Pac West Rookie of the Year. A serve out of bounds to give the point back to Sainte-Anne, and we're all tied up at 11 here in set number 1.
And he's going to have 4 more years of CCAA eligibility, so watch out.
Jeb Bork is going to find that left side line.
Torres electing to let that one go.
Service ace from number 5, and going back to the kitchen now. And that time into the net. Andrew, I think we've had a good time watching this Sainte-Anne team. The East Coast volleyball fans are in full effect at the gym. And
they come out in droves here. We saw the Acadian flag come out yesterday. We had to look that one up.
Well, yeah, we were admittedly a little bit of a blind spot there. I think our Toronto was showing. Couldn't quite quickly ID the Acadian flag. But hey, now we're educated.
Don't see that too often here.
Big blast from Torres. Gets the friendly bounce off the net. Service ace from Torres.
Powerful serve there by Torres. Just hung up on the net there a little bit. Had a service ace in that game last night, that 5-set thriller. 3 errors, though. Let's see if he can improve that today.
One Team Sports Group is the official equipment and apparel provider of the CCAA National Championships and the presenting sponsor of the CCAA All-Canadians. One Team Sports Group back here in action. 13-13 is our score.
Real back and forth affair this first set. Each of their teams still have both their timeouts. So plenty of time to slow this one down.
Good block there in the mix for the Dragons, Olivier Rutherford. Cotreau sends it in deep, and despite the best effort by Torres, it's Alec Cotreau coming out on top. One more look.
One more look at that play by the All-Canadian there, leaping up, and there's that powerful left hand again. Torres had to dive to his right, but no chance on that one.
Torres, as good as he is offensively, he can certainly hang in the best of them defensively as well, but not on that last play. And back tied up at 14 after that point.
Another look. There's the setup there. McDonald getting all over that one.
McDonald now serving, second-year player. By way of Kelowna. Going to find that back line, the service ace, after the Dragons try to just let that one hopefully sail out of bounds, but not that time around.
You got to wonder, with the score kind of closing, we're getting close to 25 now, you got to wonder if these coaches just kind of let the players play, or when they're going to use that first time out.
Yeah, the teams have just kind of been trading leads here. I think the biggest lead we've seen maybe is 2 points. It's been that kind of neck and neck affair, which maybe that's just the VIU style of play. I mean, we saw that 5th set. Such an incredible matchup against Sherbrooke last night. LP LeBlanc serving now. As the team from Nova Scotia looks for the go-ahead point. And a soft attempt there. Rylan Van Kooten was looking to use the element of surprise with the soft touch, but it just hung up on the net.
A little too soft on that one. Need that little extra oomph behind that.
And right back goes the point with that service error. Tridel will now serve for VIU.
Could this be a case like last night where you basically just hand each team 20 points and say, let's just start here?
Yeah, that's what we were saying with that Sherbrooke matchup, because it just seemed like no matter what, each of those sets was coming right down to the wire. It seemed to be maybe that similar dynamic happening here today.
There we go.
Timeout, yeah, there's that first one called by the Mariners as they fall down by a single point. Humber College is hosting the CCAA National Men's Volleyball Tournament. It's been a great couple days of volleyball thus far, and more to come. And we'll shout out Moulton, the official volleyball of the CCAA. And these players have been putting those balls through the paces. I mean, we've seen some incredible shots, a lot of hitting power here, and those Moulton balls, no surprise, they're holding up, partner.
Oh, yeah. Some strong stitching or whatever it is on those volleyballs, holding up fine.
But we are here in Toronto, technically Etobicoke, but for all intents and purposes, Toronto. The Miami of Ontario is what Miami of Canada. And teams ready to break their huddle.
I know when I think of heat and sun shining in this country, I'm thinking
Yeah,
Etobicoke.
I'm thinking Young and Dundas, baby. But it's been great to host teams from all across the country. We got representatives from BC, multiple from Vancouver Island, in fact, with Camosun in Victoria and VIU in Nanaimo. And representing the Alberta Conference is a team, Briarcrest, just outside of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. We got the Providence Pilots by way of Manitoba, a couple of Ontario teams, and Sherbrooke from Quebec. And the Dragons representing the East Coast. Atlantic Canada being held down by the Dragons de Sainte-Anne. After that timeout, we're back up tied at 17.
Another look there. Another big swing by Lucas Torres that goes off the hands of Oliver Rutherford. Players giving chase, LP LeBlanc, but couldn't get there in time.
That one a little too hot to handle.
Wow, another shot there by Cotreau.
Well, I like the diving effort by Enrico Del Mundo. But the libero in his first year for the Mariners, not able to get under that one. Serve coming up here from St. Anne's star player Alec Cotreau. The CCAA All-Canadian and Atlantic Player of the Year doesn't quite uncork on that serve the way he wanted to into the net. Mascarenas with the serve. Cotreau steps in and is going to beat the attempt. Philip Tridel tried to get under that one. And we'll see just how hard this ball was hit at Tridel.
Cotreau getting all of that one, getting that past the block.
Almost an indecision there. Maybe last minute Tridel was thinking, I'll let this one go by me, but he got tagged.
Cotreau credited with 4 kills, but it feels like he's gotten a lot more. He's just been all over the court here early in this one.
Spinney's serve was a howitzer. Torres hits it over. Now it's the Dragons with a chance at the net. And a nice cross-court shot. LP LeBlanc stepping into that one.
LP LeBlanc, one of those players who top 10 virtually every category in the ACAA except for the blocking stats due to his height, but didn't really receive that recognition from his conference, was not named an all-star despite that. Perhaps looking for a little recognition here at the Nationals.
Another serve from Spinney. Boy, he can really hit that thing from the service line. And this young man can hit it from up front. Lucas Torres, we've seen a lot of that this tournament. We'll run it back one more time. Number 12 with the hitting power. Oodles and oodles of hitting power.
There's his 4th kill of the game there, just in front of that back line there. Perfect swing. Dragons taking a timeout while up. One of those things where you don't see too often here, but it's national, so you'll see things that are a little unusual.
Jostens is the official supplier of award rings to the CCAA. Artwork for the CCAA Player and Coach of the Year award rings. That's all taken care of by Jostens. And Andrew, we're trying to lobby if we can take a peek maybe at some of the hardware, some of the bling that's going to be awarded to the not only the winning team.
Maybe a little touch, put it on a little bit, a little ring fitting.
Yeah, you know, just let these commentators live out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a time when we aspired to be one of these athletes. You know, we hung them up and we aimed for a more realistic vocation.
I've actually gone on the website. You can get a ring if you were a CCAA player, but I guess there has to be some sort of proof that you did play in the CCAA.
Okay.
So for the
to get our documentation in order.
For the bums like me that didn't play, I don't have a chance. I just talk about it.
Owen Dick serving for the Mariners. Sends it into the back row, and a tough shot there as that's just teed up on a platter for Max McDonald.
Max McDonald, we've seen this move from him time and time again. Obviously loves that little dunk move there. Catching that front line off guard. Tough to defend if there's no one right there.
And how about that blocking effort up front from the Mariners? Ben Pike. Goodness gracious, all over that blast.
So I talked before about Gautreau, how he's kind of all over the place. VIU maybe starting to catch on to him a little bit. Obviously, he's going to be that guy that the Dragons are going to be looking for, but Ben Pike, credit to him on that.
And now he's serving is Ben Pike. In play, another opportunity at the net. Two players fighting for it. Sent over, opportunity now, big blast, and that careens out into the fifth row. Big, big blast.
Another look. The set up there, Rutherford. And that one just past the block.
LP LeBlanc. Looking strong. Now it's
LeBlanc, excuse me.
Yeah, Blanc on that blast, number 12. Through the block. Set up at the net once again for LP. And he's going to get it going his ways. Violation called against the Mariners.
VIU once again in crunch time here at the end of the set. Time, how it loves to repeat itself.
I know, here we go. It's just been that kind of set, and it's been that kind of tournament for VIU. Close games all the way through. All tied up at 22. And a chance, really opportune thing here as Lucas Torres serving for the Mariners. We know how much heat he's got in these serves.
He goes high risk, high reward, though. We'll see.
That was well fielded. Somehow the Dragons able to get under, and they turn the tables off the Torres serve. Right up at the net to give the Dragons a 1-point lead late in set one.
Just like that, the Dragons on the precipice of winning their first set of the tournament. That one just in front of Owen Dick, couldn't make a play.
Joshua Aucoin, who had 13 assists in that opening round matchup against Humber.
Zephyr McDonald, he finds the back corner. Tied at 23, and Matt, we might be headed for another overtime with VIU.
After that blast by Max McDonald ties things back up. Max McDonald will check out, a player wearing number 9 for VIU, who some people around the gym were calling Biceps McGinty yesterday.
Definitely the best guns of the tournament.
So far, yeah. No stranger to the bicep curl exercise.
The shoulders, too.
Sigurdsson's serve. In play. Gautreau teed up, partial block. Mariners, good opportunity to set it up. Cross-court blast, lands out of bounds, and a big miss there. As now the Dragons have an opportunity for the deciding point here in set number one.
VIU, if they can get this point here, they will force overtime here.
course, it's first or 25, but you have to win by 2. Nice off-pace hit there. Dragons sort of scrambling. We'll go over onto the Mariners side. And another point will tie things back up at 24. So we are in to the overtime extra point territory. Not able to get under it there, but a good effort by Vincent Doucette.
Yeah, just going for the pancake, just an inch or two behind that one.
We've seen 24. Yeah, we've seen Doucette make those plays before, but that time just too far out of reach.
Caught a little change up there.
Yeah, nice. Almost caught Mariners off guard. Torres steps into his shot. And a real good opportunity here. Hit up high, chasing it down. This is not going to get over, and this was kind of a living on a prayer, Andrews. Right over by our broadcast table. That was a little too close for comfort.
And another look at that. That might have been the craziest scramble we've seen all week. These Dragons players just not saying die. The chance here for VIU to close this one out.
Ben Pike serving. And a miss hit will give set number 1 to the team from Vancouver Island. The Mariners win 26-24.
Tight set all the way.
And true to form, very tight set for VIU. We saw just such a close game all the way through against Sherbrooke. And just like in that matchup against Sherbrooke, VIU won that initial set. Can they keep it rolling along? Volleyball Canada is the national sport organization partner of the CCAA. Shout out to Volleyball Canada. And that's the score after one set of play. Andrew, for these Mariners, you know, they saw a game where they went up 2-0 after 2. That one slipped away from them as the team from Quebec ultimately won that quarterfinal matchup yesterday. What do you think is on the mind of the VIU team here as they're in a similar position, hoping for a different result here this afternoon?
Well, they just got to be able to close it out better this time. You know, this set was it was back and forth really the whole time. Really, no one really got a hold of that one. We'll see if VIU can really pull ahead of this one. They have some top talent there that they can really rely on. So we'll see where it goes. But Dragons not short of any talent themselves. I mean, Control putting himself all over the place. Beside Elpsfeld, LeBlanc making some big plays. Rutherford, Doucette. But it's going to be an interesting one. I think we're going to be in for another tight one here down the stretch.
And our next game on the docket is back to the gold medal bracket. This is, of course, game 2 of 4 today. Game 3 coming up a bit later on in the day will be the Fanshawe Falcons, who you see on the right side of your screen are settling in to watch this game. Fanshawe have earned a spot in that gold semifinal against the Camosun Chargers. So a battle of the defending national champs in the Camosun Chargers and a very tough Fanshawe team, number 1 and 2 in the national rankings this year.
One of the marquee matchups we have here this weekend. Winner of this game plays for gold. The loser will play the winner of this one in the bronze semis tomorrow. So a lot on the line. 5:30.
Yeah, that next game, 5:30 start time. About 2.5 hours from now. The Dragons are looking to dig deep and flip the script here. It was a good effort in that first set, but not going to like the result. Almost time to go. And of course, at 8 o'clock tonight, the home court Humber Hawks take on the team from Quebec, the Volunteers, the Sherbrooke. Beat VIU last night. And I know this gym is going to be buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that team from Quebec, I think that they're interested in the noise. You know, it's always, you can think about that home court advantage, but I think these players kind of like the energy. They want to play in that maybe unfriendly environment with all the fans turned out.
That could fire you up, certainly. We'll see what that can do for Sherbrooke tonight. Certainly a scrappy bunch. Looking forward to that one. It's going to be a great game. But we got some great volleyball action right here. Max McDonald ready to get things started here for VIU.
The Kelowna product sends it in deep. Set number 2 underway. Torres sets it up. Partial block there. Torres bumps it up from the back row and teed up for Mascarenas. Now it's Cotreau uncorking on it. McDonald sets it over for Dick. And a couple players in the vicinity, and Mascarenas and Torres are just kind of trapped, and neither one went for that ball.
Yeah, big miscommunication there from VIU handing Sainte-Anne the first point there. All three of the front players from that front line all kind of backed up, and seemed like no one wanted to grab that.
Torres digs it out. Set over to Lozier. And that's going to earn the point for VIU. Find themselves all tied up here in a 1-1 game.
Look at that point by Lozier. Didn't see any action yesterday. Making his presence known here in the second set. A great kill there.
And that time the dig just set up the Mariners too easy up front at the net. Kill shot looked like Lozier was the one in the area that time. There's that front line for VIU. They're up by 1. Nice dig there from Vincent Doucette. And the blocking effort, Mascarenas right there alongside Dominic.
Lozier making his impact felt once again. Look at that, both those guys right there in the block. No space to operate with for the Dragons.
Is this going to be another one of those sets where we're neck and neck all the way through, or is one team going to create a bit of separation? Right now it's a 3-point separation as Mariners starting out set number 2 very strong.
Mascarenas trying to get a point there, trying to get his team going here for a spot in that bronze semis.
Almost that. It's just bound for a service ace, and that'll make the lead 5-1, and an early timeout from Sainte-Anne. Dragons dropping the first set and reeling a bit here in set number 2.
Yeah, we've seen, well, again, another look at that, but Sainte-Anne, they've been using their timeouts real effectively here. Look at that last play.
Wow, beautiful slow-mo. How about the replay from our BRTV crew? This presentation of CCAA Volleyball, hosted by Humber College, is in part with the great students and professors of Humber College's broadcast television program. More on that in just a moment. First, I'd like to shout out One Team Sports Group, the official equipment and apparel provider of the CCAA National Championships, and One Team also presenting sponsor of the CCAA All-Canadians.
BRTV here right in the broadcast, best crew in the CCAA. Doing a great job here all week.
Yeah, students on the 1s and 2s getting these great camera angles. And I say this one's a great camera angle because you can kind of see us in it.
Maybe a little bit of a bias take there, yeah.
Sure. I didn't get into broadcasting because I did not want to see myself on camera. And
There's an aspect of ego to that.
Oh, sure.
Let me tell you, those announcing classes at Humber could be an earful sometimes.
Yeah, you and I no longer students, but we certainly had a great time here studying broadcasting back in the day. Teed up over to Lozier. He's going to be able to find some success off that left side hit.
Another look coming right up. It's that great hit there by Lozier. Puts that right in front of LP, could make a play.
6-2 our score. Lozier, big play up front. Now he's serving. And the block by Mascarenas. The front line from VIU had a big impact in their opening game yesterday. And they're having a big impact here in game number 2 of the tournament.
Look at that big block by Mascarenas. Already had a few of those this afternoon. There he goes, right off that left hand. No mistake there.
Another serve in from Dominic. in play. Cotreau, huge hit. And that's one of those plays that you're just going to have to accept. You know, you can try to limit Alec Cotreau, the ACAA Player of the Year and the All-Canadian, but he's going to get a few of those off each game.
5 kills on the game for Cotreau. All-Canadian and ACAA Player of the Year.
Led his team in service aces this year, 37 in the regular season.
Led his league in service aces as well.
Serving for the Mariners, number 11, Daniel.
One more look at that blast that earned the Mariners an 8-3 lead. Just a little too strong and pushed out of bounds. Mascarenas puts it in play. Up at the net now for the Dragons, and up and down. Beautiful shot by Jeb Bork.
Another look at that. Mascarenas looked like he tried to get his foot in there. Let's see if it caught. We can't really tell from that camera angle though, but a great shot. Right into the net.
Yeah, Spinney blasted into the net.
Serving for the Mariners, number 8, Owen Dick.
1 ace, 1 error yesterday in that loss to Sherbrooke for Owen Dick, number 8, serving.
Very good defensive play from Dick yesterday too, with 10 digs. And right up at the net, it's the Dragons showing that they've got some players that can take care of business up front.
Ben Pike tried to go for that dunk play. Another look at that. Just met with some resistance there by Joshua Aucoin.
Aucoin with the block. Here's Bork with the serve. Torres kind of let that one slip through his fingers a bit. VIU trying to uncork on it. And they will, as that block runs afoul.
Another look. VIU taking a 5-point lead, first to double digits. Now deflected there, a hard hit there.
Speaking of hard hit, here's Torres' serve. And he might have thrown that one a little too far in front of himself as he reaches and serves into the net. Aucoin just had a big block. Let's see if he's got a big serve in his back pocket. VIU with that 4-point lead right now. And standing up there tall by the net is Dominic Lozier.
And once again, VIU in an advantageous position here, kind of midway through the set, but they got to keep that pressure on. We've seen these leads evaporate for them last night and today.
Now it's Captain America, Max McDonald. Got that all-American jawline and puts it in play. And how about that play at the net? You know, we've seen VIU really establishing some pretty good lead here in set number 2, mostly with that play up front at the net, but the Dragons finding a way in between that block here.
Yeah, not easy there. But they just get that kind of on the wrong part of that front line there. Got that working to their advantage.
Lozier is blocked, but it bounces out of bounds. And that Mariners lead now back to 5.
Serving for the Mariners is number 16, Ben Pike.
Second-year player Ben Pike serving for the Mariners. Nice dig there from LP LeBlanc. Free opportunity for the Mariners. VIU looking to extend their lead, and they will do just that as the Dragons are scrambling in their own end and making this a 13-7 game.
Big chance here for VIU to extend this lead. Put the pressure on Dragons here.
Beautiful looking serve from Pike. Up at the net. Spinney's hit is returned. Lozier finding a gap in the defense. One more look as we have a 14-7 game after this play.
Set up here for Lozier. It's that right over the block, perfectly placed. Not going for power on that one.
Almost finding a sweet spot. Sainte-Anne recovers. Scrambling at the net now, our Vancouver Highland University. And things continue to go their way.
Even on the scramble play, they got that working. Another look. Mascarena's just getting on top of that one, using all that frame, all that height.
And the first set was so much closer here, but here in set 2, VIU blowing things open with an 8-point lead. Down to a 7-point lead after that service error.
Dragons still have that one timeout left. If VIU extends this point, this lead by a few more, expect them to use it.
Teed up for Pike. Fielded by Sainte-Anne, and this is going to be quite an opportunity here up front. Stepping into it is Pike and finding that back corner. That was an absolute snipe.
Ben Pike taking advantage of a massive opportunity there. A mistake set that one up by Sainte-Anne and got all that one, just catching that back line, that back corner.
Dominic sends his serve a bit long.
Serving for the Dragons, number 10.
So that lead for VIU remains at 7. Good East versus West matchup here on the Hawk Sports Network. We appreciate you watching games here for the CCAA Men's National Tournament here on humberhawks.ca and on YouTube. Torres. Wow. Find the shot there.
6 killed the game here for Lucas Torres.
Coming into the game for the
An 8-point lead for VIU, and they're 8 points away from taking this set. We'll take another look at that kill by Torres.
Yeah, Torres has a tough act to follow on opening night. He had 18 kills, and he's humming along here today, but quite a performance in that thriller last night against Sherbrooke.
No swing errors as well for him.
And finding an opening, making it look easy. Jeremy Bork.
serving for the Dragons, number 2.
The man they call Jeb.
Old Jeb. Well handled there by Del Mondo. Torres is set up, but blocking the star from the Pac-West, the Rookie of the Year out in BC, is shut down that time by the front line of Sainte-Anne.
Looks like Jeremy Bork once again getting involved in that play. Sainte-Anne needs a run here.
And Torres makes no mistake that time, as you can, again, we talk about those star players on each teams, and you can only contain Torres so much. This is a very talented volleyball player who gets a lot of shots like these up.
Big swing there, a couple players on Sainte-Anne falling down, trying to get to that one. Such a powerful hit.
And we head into timeout as VIU has a healthy 7-point lead. And Andrew, I don't know if this has a lot to do with why they are playing so well today, but the VIU coaching staff all have matching sneakers. You see that white Nikes there, the blue check mark? The whole coaching staff's rocking the same kicks.
I like that, it's showing some...
There's something to be said for...
yeah, some team spirit there.
And there's the Dragons huddle. And we'd like to mention that Sport Canada is the major funding partner of the CCAA. And as we said yesterday, hey, shout out to the federal government, man. Supporting sport in this country. You know, we're not just the hockey country, Andrew.
We are not.
We're on the come up in many different sports. Like volleyball, basketball, soccer.
Soccer.
Tennis.
Yep. A few Canadian golfers making headlines as well. Brooke Henderson, most notably on the women's side.
Doing our thing at the national stage with support from Sport Canada. Now it's back in action here as this is bouncing right towards us. Big block up front. Landing out of bounds, however. Take a quick look before the serve coming up from Jeremy Bork.
LP, Louis-Philippe LeBlanc getting all over that one. It's a tough job as a sub-6-foot left side, but he's getting it done.
Serve from Jeb is in play. And how about that spike right up front from Olivier Rutherford?
Big hit there by Rutherford.
Rutherford, the rookie for the Dragons, finding a nice hitting lane there.
Let's find that little hole between the front block there. 2 digs, and that was his first kill.
So that lead to 5 right now for the team from BC. Stepping into that to make it a 6-point lead. Ben Pike is having a monster performance here.
Serving for the Mariners is number 12.
And much like last night, this game kind of taking that same complexion where that first set by VIU, very tight one. Having a little bit more their way in the second set. We'll see the rest of the game follow suit.
Torres' serve is fielded and off the block and out of bounds. Point goes to the Dragons.
Dragons finding ways to stay around in this one. Still down by 5. We'll get another look at that play. Big swing there off the block. Another one by LP LeBlanc.
Here's Joshua O'Coin serving for Sainte-Anne, fielded by Torres. Tough play at the net. Torres bumped it up, but it was really just set on a platter for Sainte-Anne, who are drawn closer here, down by 4. We're gonna have to really sharpen up here as we're getting into crunch time here in set number 2.
Dragons need to go on a run here if they want to come back in this set.
That's going to sail long and give the Mariners their 20th point of the set.
Coming into the game and serving for the VIU Mariners is number 5, Luke Sigurdsson.
Luke Sigurdsson, number 5 for the Mariners. Puts the serve in play. Over to Cotreau. Blocked. Mascarenas was right there with some support from his other frontline team members.
The front line there all over Cotreau. Sainte-Anne all out of timeouts here. Just makes it over. Lucky break there.
And let's see if Sigurdsson can just push it through. 22-15. Looking for those 3 more points to give the Mariners their 2nd straight set win. And gets a friendly bounce off the tape. In play, the Dragons will look for an open space. Just
gonna go for it.
Ball almost finding that line. That would have been the nicest bump of the tournament if it had just been a couple more inches to the left.
Yeah, you said it there, Matt. A bit of an awkward play there.
Torres was on the deck, you know.
Yeah.
He's unaware that ball was on his way.
Yeah, Mascarenas kind of put that ball in an awkward place there, right in the middle.
Mascarenas, 6'7", one of the tallest members of this Mariners team. He's had some huge plays up front. This time it's Lozier who is going to secure the point, beating the block. And that puts VIU within 2.
Couple points here, and Ben Pike can finish it off. Not to be.
Yeah, not that time around. So it's 23-17. Serving for the Dragons is Oliver Rutherford. Rutherford sends it in. Kind of a tough angle for the Mariners, and they'll surrender the point to the team from the east.
Dragons still hanging around. 5 points, not the biggest deficit here. One they can still come back from, but again, we need to see that run.
Rutherford puts it in off the hands of Del Mundo, and don't look now, but the Dragons are scrapping here at the end of set number 2, and to kind of slow things down, we'll see VIU call a timeout as all the momentum really building for this Dragons team, down by just 4.
And we've seen how effective these timeouts have been used all tournaments, so You got to think VIU is going to come out swinging after this one. And for Sainte-Anne, you just kind of come with fresh yourselves, you know. You're running a little bit of a momentum swing here. Got to keep that up, try and put the pressure on VIU. You see, they're not the best at closing out sets, so we'll see what happens here.
Going for like a kind of a 1980s R&B theme here in the gym with the DJ music selection. More on that in just a moment. Let's take a second look at one of those plays that sent us into the timeout. Here was one of those serves from Rutherford.
A little bit of a scramble play there from VIU.
So not a lot of room for error as Rutherford sends the serve in a little too far.
Not what the Dragons needed.
And a game point. Upcoming here, Losier. Dominic in his 4th year with the Mariners. Good looking serve. There's the block. Tough play. Set it up, and another second chance here after Contreau is blocked. And finding a way through 3 blockers. What a blast from Gabriel Beaton.
Yeah, a bit of a strange play there. It's a heavy hit. Front line all over that one. It was right in front of Lucas Torres as he was turning around. Just a bad break there for the All-Star, for the All-Canadian.
Getting the point through triple coverage. And the service error will give the VIU Mariners their 2nd set win. They're up 2-0 after 2.
Virtually the same as last night's game. They win that first set by 2 in overtime. Then they win the second set 25-20. Could history be repeating itself? We'll see.
Back to the Michael Jackson part of our playlist here. Shout out to the King of Pop. Andrew, that second set not quite as close. However, at the end, we certainly saw lots of momentum out of Sainte-Anne. Can they keep that going into set number 3? But, you know, for VIU, this is sort of uncomfortable territory in that, hey, you're up 2-0. But, yeah, they were last night as well, and that game ultimately slipped away from them. So maybe a chance to kind of rectify that demon.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a big chance for them here if they can close out this one in 3 sets. But Dragons really been hanging in there. Give them a lot of credit. Haven't not been out of it by too much. There's been some leads of 7 or 8, but they've been finding ways to keep it back down. Maybe a little bit of the Thriller dance there in the crowd. Love that.
We got, yeah, those are member of the Fanshawe Falcons staying loose before their semifinal game, trying to punch their way to the national championship gold medal game.
Bunch of them right beside us here in the section.
And they can see themselves on our monitor, and I think that's only encouraging this behavior. Killing it.
A well-coordinated dance. It's Cal Brown Fazekas, all rookie from the Humber men's basketball team this year. He's giving out a little bit of Thriller moves himself. Everyone's having a good time here at the Hawks Nest.
Yeah, you said it, partner. I think that Fanshawe dancing to Thriller might have been my early favorite for moment of the tournament so far.
The song is Thriller. Could be headed for another 5-set Thriller, we'll see. Still a long way to go. VIU's trying to close this one out. Had a chance to do this last night.
Yeah, you know, I think we got the good energy in the gym throughout the tournament thus far. And Michael Jackson has a way of bringing out the best in people, you know.
Really does.
And it's almost time to get going. Unfortunately, we're going to have to kill the music eventually and get back to 3rd set play. The Sainte-Anne Dragons trailing team from Nova Scotia has found this VIU team really establishing themselves early in this game. But, you know, we've learned after that game we saw last night, that 5-set thriller, really can't count anybody out, even if they're down 2-0. We've certainly seen teams rally and come back, and Sainte-Anne has that opportunity to put on another heroic comeback here.
A number of teams here in the tournament have done that. Fanshawe, the team right beside us in the national semifinals, came down from 2-0, the provincial semifinals against Cambrian. Definitely playing on hard mode, but it's definitely possible. Let's see what Sainte-Anne's got in the tank.
Del Mundo tries to dig it out. It's not going to go his way that time, and the service ace will be the first point of the game, courtesy of the serve from Alec Gautreau. How about that serve? Lots of heat on that one, right off the tape. Popped up by LP LeBlanc, set over to Bork, kept alive by the Mariners. And looking for that back line, won't find it, just a tad long. And giving the Dragons a 2-point lead early on here. Andrew, what do you think is going to have to be the MO from the Dragons if they want to turn things around, especially early in set number 3 here?
Well, they just got to dig deep, really, just find their best players, see who's rolling. We've seen Gautreau have a great afternoon. LeBlanc, Rutherford, also some great performances. It's going to be a team effort.
And a team effort, yeah, it's lined up here as Bork making a contribution. 3-0 for Sainte-Anne. Quite a run of serves from the ACAA Player of the Year, but the All-Canadians run of serves will end there as he puts it into the net.
An error there, but a fantastic player from the service line, as you said before. Led his conference in serves this season, and serves per set with 37, and he averaged about 2/3 the service apes per set this season.
Over to Gautreau and just sends it way outside that time.
Serving for the Mariners, number 9, Max McDonald.
Didn't line up that one in the direction he was hoping for, and that'll put the ball back in the hands of Max McDonald.
Chance to tie the game.
It's a hot start from the Dragons, going up 3-0. Things now coming up Millhouse for the Mariners. Ooh, trying to beat that block with the soft touch, and they will succeed. And we're tied up at 3. This is how it looked, and it was just right over top of Gabriel Beaton. McDonald sends it in deep, too long. And they'll give that 1-point lead right back to the Dragons. And a good play at the net, heads up by LP LeBlanc. This rally kept alive now. LeBlanc steps into it, LP, huge blast, as the Dragons reestablish a 2-point lead.
Little guy displaying the power out there from that left side there. He really got up there and got everything on that ball.
Sainte-Anne behind in this game, down 2-0 as that goes up into the rafters. And we've seen a few volleyballs go high up into the ceiling here, and the odd piece of confetti trickling down, so we'll keep an eye out for that.
Confetti watch is still on.
Up at the net, quick set there, and Mascarenas, the tall Brazilian, has been looking strong at the net throughout the tournament so far.
Yeah, very strong there from the middle blocker position, doing everything offensively and defensively.
And speaking of strong, Andrew, the Vancouver Island Mariners men and women's basketball team and men and women's volleyball teams are all representing their school at their respective national championships.
Wow,
remarkable stuff.
Yeah, such a strong sports school from out there in Vancouver Island. And Nanaimo, enrollment only 7,152.
Just over the net there. Set over for Dominic Lozier. Heavy blast and a 2-point lead now for the Dragons.
Another look at that kill by Lozier right in front of Gabriel Beaton. Just couldn't get a play on that. Mariners looking to climb back into the set.
And into the hardwood, and another point for the Dragons, who are looking pretty strong here in set number 3. Kind of turn the tables on the Mariners as the Dragons with an early set lead up by 3.
Yeah, still early in this one, but the Dragons have not trailed yet in this third set.
Sent in, kept up by Lozier. And there's the whistle to call the play dead, attack line violation. Dragons lead now up to 4, as O'Coin will be the one serving. O'Coin had 13 assists and 6 digs in his performance yesterday. How about the block up front? The player of the year from Atlantic Canada, Alec Cotreau. And he is fired up, and that's enough to get the Mariners to call a timeout. They're now down by 5.
Another look at that big block, him getting up there, Rutherford right there with him. And I mean, it's no accident that Cotreau is top 10 in blocks in the ACAA this season. You can see why.
And it's that great matchup, right? We talked about really best versus best. You have Torres, the rookie of the year in the Pac West, really led his team in scoring, and that time he's beat by the block from Cotreau. Beerburn Medical Supply is the official medical supply provider of the CCAA. And I'll tell you what, they're providing all that tape and go through a lot of that in a volleyball tournament, boy, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of tape being given around during this tournament that we've seen.
Finger Jam City. I mean, you feel bad for these players. They really put the body on the line, and even just that partial block, right? These huge, huge spikes. And Beerburn helping keep the players in the game here. Beerburn Medical Supply. Joshua O'Coin serving now. Torres this time will not be denied, beating the block, finding that back right corner.
Another look at that Torres kill. There he goes there, up with that big right hand through the block.
Yeah.
Nailed perfectly right in the corner.
Such an athletic looking player, the way he uses that vertical leap. Mascarena's serve, put into the middle row. Torres there for the partial block. Set up to Torres now offensively and beating the block of the Dragons this time.
9 kills on the game already for Torres. Just half of what he had yesterday, but I mean, the way this one's going, this one could go on a little longer. We'll see.
Back-to-back points for VIU coming out of that timeout. Now down by only 3. Change-up serve there, almost catching the Dragons asleep.
Big opportunity here for the Mariners.
Kept alive by Doucette. Over to Cotreau, big block from the Mariners side. Scrambling play. Good opportunity for VIU now. Stepping in from the back court was Ben Pike. This rally's still going.
Incredible. Wow.
Another block. In the mix there, Owen Dick. McDonald. Torres will seal the deal on this epic rally. And the run of points continues out of that timeout. So things working well after Coach Abe Avender in his 11th season with the Mariners called that timeout, and everything's been coming up their way ever since.
A long rally there, and Lucas Torres just putting an exclamation point on the end of that one.
Set up here. Point goes to the Mariners, and LP LeBlanc can't believe it. He's shaking his head, looking to the sky after he missed that shot.
VIU doing well to crawl back into this one.
Mascarena's run of serves continues, puts it in play once again. Cotreau will finally put an end to the run, but the Mariners have done the job in essence, as they are now back within 2. Contrast that to the 5-point deficit they were in just right before that timeout.
There's that big left hand by Cotreau off the hand of Mascarenas. No chance there as that deflected basically right into the crowd.
Huge play from that leader by Sainte-Anne to help put things back in their favor, and momentum swings back to Sainte-Anne. Get another point there, up by 3. Torres finding the line, beating LeBlanc. The rookie just continues to shine here. What a way to cap off his rookie season with the performance we've seen from him here at the CCAAs.
I mean, I'm just running out of adjectives to use for these Torres kills over here. Just incredible, such power behind these. He seems to be finding these lines too on the outside, whether it be the sideline or that back line.
And, you know, for Humber, it was either they were going to play the winner of that Sherbrooke VIU game, and it was looking like for a time that it was going to be VIU after they were up 2-0. And as a Humber fan, I think we were a little worried because this VIU team looks very strong, as does Sherbrooke, not to take anything away. And VIU continuing to show they are a dangerous team here.
Well, VIU, especially with that top-end talent that they have of Torres and Mascarenas on that front line, so dangerous.
Set up here, a coin lets his teammate do the work. Dragons lead back up to 2. There's that set from a coin. Right over to Rutherford.
Just find that gap in the defense.
McDonald takes a big hit, but it's not going to work out for him. That lead for the Dragons now back to 3. Little cat and mouse game here in set number 3, but it's the Dragons who have been in the driver's seat. Sending it long, a window of opportunity for VIU. Try to even things up.
Still anyone's set here.
Lucas Torres serving, a very strong part of his game. You see it right there on display. Kept in play. Tough play at the net and beating the players at front.
Jeremy Bork getting the kill there. Perfectly set up there, got that big right hand down. Just over the tape of the net.
Cotreau, somehow that serve is kept alive. Great play by Enrico Del Mundo. And that point goes to the Mariners, and that's a tough loss for the Dragons, as they were hoping maybe Cotreau would go on a nice run of serves. One and done from the line. Max McDonald. Bumped up by Doucette. Over to Beaton now, and just out of reach despite the diving effort of Lozier. And it's now back to a 3-point lead for Sainte-Anne.
Here's that second look. Just through the block. Lozier tried to make a diving play, but couldn't. Soft touch there.
Yeah, a little off-speed hit. Good blast from LP LeBlanc. And a huge blast from Torres. Del Mundo tees it up for Lozier and into the net, and that lead for the Dragons now grows to 4. Remember, they led by as much as 5 earlier in the set.
We'll get another look here. Appears VIU will not use that timeout.
You know, that time Mascarena's there for the block, but off the fingers and out. And that lead back to 5.
Approaching crunch time for VIU here.
Sainte-Anne lost in 3 straight sets to Humber yesterday in a very tough opening round matchup against the home court team. Not looking to drop 3 sets in similar fashion today. Fighting hard here in set number 3. Point for the Mariners will make that deficit down to 4. Philip Treidel. And a first-year player by way of Germany sends it in play. Beating the up-front play. That was just the Sainte-Anne Dragons doing what they've been doing here in set 3. Getting it done up front.
Here's your second look. Zeb there. Jeremy Bork. Man, they called Jeb a great job there.
Torres bumps it up. Mascarenas with the miss hit. And that'll give the Dragons their 20th point of the set. Commanding lead here as we get into the later stages of set number 3.
Virtually led the whole way here in this third set. Gabe Aventer not using that timeout.
Hung up on the net. Falls over onto the VIU side and stepping into it with a nice nifty play to beat the block. Dominic Lozier.
Lozier getting a shot just in the nick of time. Right through the block, and it fell down immediately. It's going to take an almost perfect run here by VIU to take this third set back.
Not a good start there for the comeback as Lozier's shot sent long. O'Coin can help to try to put this thing away. Del Mundo pops it up. Set up for Torres now. He's going to secure the point right through the fingers of Gabriel Beaton.
12 kills, 2 digs for Torres. Another look at that big one, just over the block, through the hands of Beaton. It's going to be another strong point there for the man from Brazil.
Mascarena's serve in play. A little bit off balance now. Dragons dump it over. Quick set and big block. Rutherford. Great play up front for Sainte-Anne. And then Cottrell will put the exclamation point on that rally.
8th kill of the game for Cottrell. Yeah, fantastic job there from that right side. He gets that left hand down. Tough to stop him.
Torres a bit off the net, and he's going to send that a bit long. But the point goes to the Mariners as it is tipped off fingers.
Serving for the Mariners, number 8, Owen.
So VIU down by 5, and it's going to take a damn near perfect volleyball effort here to capture set number 3.
Big hole here this late in the set.
That's a good start as Torres is there blocking the ACAA Player of the Year. That time, Alec Cottrell not finding success thanks to the block from the Pac West Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Torres all over that one with that big block.
Sainte-Anne seems a bit on their heels right now, but they look to their leader to help resettle things. Cottrell. Big blast, and his team now within 2.
Number 9 now, kills on the game for Cottrell.
A race to 25 points. Rutherford serve, digged out by Del Mundo. Off the net that time from Ben Pike. Set over to Torres, and he'll beat the block as it's kicked up in the air and double touched by the Dragons.
Another look at that ball handling violation. Torres, the big hit there. Couple players there trying to keep it up. Jeb Bork using his foot there, but unfortunately it was a double touch.
Torres service ace. Absolute howitzer, and look out, VIU. Crawling back into set number 3. Andrew, that you mentioned, they've really been trailing much of the way here.
There's another look at that serve, that big hit.
Let's see what else he's cooking up. Back to live action now. Torres with another huge blast. And Cottrell leading the way once again. 2 blockers, didn't matter. And now after a big play up at the net, it's a serve that could put set number 3 in the books. Not gonna find it there, sends it out of bounds. And you're not out of the realm of possibility for the Mariners to claw back here, but it's a tough spot.
Yeah, they need to have 3 more points in a row here.
Push it to extra points, and that will draw the timeout from the Dragons.
More Michael.
Back to Michael. Oh, they're back.
Giving the crowd what they want to see.
These Fanshawe players, they're not just good at volleyball. They can move. So coming up next, we have that Fanshawe versus Camosun matchup. The number 1 versus number 2 nationally ranked teams squaring off in our first gold medal semifinal. Winner of that game will earn their spot in the gold medal match on Saturday. And of course, later in the day, the Volunteers de Sherbrooke out of Quebec taking on the home court Humber Hawks for the other spot in that gold medal matchup on Saturday. So by this evening, we'll have that gold medal matchup set. But right in front of us here, it's teams in the bronze quarterfinal. Winner of this game will go on to play in that bronze semifinal tomorrow. Luke Sigurdsson gonna have to be careful with these serves, can't afford the error. Huge block and a step in the right direction. They need 2 more, Andrew, to get to that kind of safety of the win by 2 territory.
Another look at that here, that big block. That looked like that was number 16, Ben Pike. Got credited with that one.
And off the fingers, and VIU, after being up 2 sets to nothing in their game last night and letting that one get away from them, trying to seal the deal here in 3 straight sets.
Big reception error there.
Again, the Dragons put it away. They just need 1 more point. Finding the line in style. Set number 3 goes to the team from Nova Scotia. 2-1 in favor of the Mariners after 3 sets.
What a set there by Dragons to Sainte-Anne, really never trailing in that one. Doing a good job to stay alive. We'll see if it's gonna be coming down to a 5th and final set, or VIU can close this out in 4. These VIU games quickly becoming the most entertaining here of this tournament.
So 3 sets of play, some close volleyball matches. We needed extra points in set 1. VIU kind of was in the driver's seat pretty well in that second set there, 25-20. But it was Sainte-Anne who turned the tables. Now, Andrew, is VIU going to see their day 1 demons creep back into the picture here? Or can the Vancouver Island Mariners get the set victory here?
I mean, the parallels to last night's game are insane. If you think about it, the first set, you know, VIU coming out with the close ones. Second set, they win 25-20, the exact same. Third set, it came down to 2 points once again. It was overtime in last night's, but here, Dragons just getting it done kind of on the edge of things there. We'll see. I expect this to be another tight set, though. Both these teams want some hardware.
For the Dragons, the Sainte-Anne, they've been to the CCAA championship 3 times, are still looking for that first medal. In fact, their record at the CCAA tournament, 0-11, so still looking for that first win here at the national stage.
The set win that they had just right now, their first set win of this tournament, so gotta have that first step, right?
In fact, Andrew, the Atlantic Conference, the ACAA as a whole, has yet to capture a medal at this national stage.
So that'd be huge.
Right above them is the Manitoba Conference, 3 medals in total, 1 silver, 2 bronze.
And the OCAA with 17.
OCAA next up there, and then the Pac West with 26 medals. Quebec in second place with 31 total medals from schools representing the province of Quebec. And Alberta is the king of the hill when you look at CCAA history books. 52 total medals for the schools out of Alberta over the years. 21 of those medals being, the gold, the big one. Ironically, no teams from Alberta in the competition this year.
Yeah, Briarcrest, the representative from the ACSC, the Alberta Conference, coming from Saskatchewan.
Set number 4. Here we go. 0-0. First point of set 4 goes to
Serving for the Dragons, number 12,
Sainte-Anne. Here comes the serve from LP LeBlanc. The second-year player sends it a bit long, so trading points at the start of set 4.
LP LeBlanc with a great game here so far. 4 digs, 8 kills.
Now you got to think this Mariners team is motivated. I almost called them the Islanders. From Vancouver Island.
I was going to say Island boys.
Victoria Island Islanders. No. I, of all people, should not be slipping up and saying Victoria Island. My family is from Vancouver Island. Shout out to all my family in Port Alberni.
I mean, it's confusing. Victoria's on Vancouver Island, so they didn't really help us out there.
Still not. I don't want people in BC thinking on Toronto folk. I don't want to be a bad representation of the Toronto population. 2-1 in favor of the Mariners. But Andrew, to my point, before I got tripped up verbally, you got to think the Mariners just want to seal the deal here, not see Sainte-Anne get any life breathed into them and push it to a 5th set.
Having a good start here, but again, we've seen that before. It's just been closing things out that's been the issue for these Mariners here.
Dragons tip it up into the net. Violation will stop play. No, actually, that's the 4th touch. And here's the serve coming up from Ben Pike.
Carter Monroe listed as an outside hitter playing libero right now for VIU. Interesting decision.
Over to Beaton, who is blocked. And we have some excited Mariners there. Owen Dick with the big hit.
There it is
the block.
Yeah, him and Mascarenas all over that one. No mistake there, put that one down for a point. Ben Pike to serve.
Pike sends it long. The rookie, Rutherford, serves it in. Torres pops it up. And the big block. Pike unloaded, but could not get it past the Dragon defenders.
Look at those Dragons. They're hyped up for this one. They're ready to go. They're feeling it. Despite being down this set, and there's that block there. Gabriel Beaton getting a hand on that one.
As Torres is beginning that defensive effort, but that one just slipped away from VIU. The score now, just a 1-point lead for Vancouver Island University.
Yeah, play slipped away just like that big lead slipped away from VIU.
Send that one long to give the Mariners that 2-point lead right back. Lozier, good looking serve. Dug out by Doucette. And that is blocked and sent way off into the crowd. The point goes to Sainte-Anne.
Almost hit one of the banners here. One of the many national title banners here at the Humber Gym. There's a setup there on Coach Road. That big swing there. That didn't go off Torres' head?
Off the head of Torres.
Yeah.
Service error. So teams kind of going back and forth here. Mariners enjoying a pretty consistent 2-point lead here in set number 4.
Man, let's just hit the fast forward button, get these two teams to 20, right?
I think, yeah, that's what we've seen a lot with the VIU team is very close sets. It's almost it just seems like you might be better off just fast forward into 20 to 20. Owen Dick taking care of business.
Here's a second look. Ball set up there, but Owen Dick in that hand on there. Putting that down for the point.
Good block up at the net there. Dick in the mix for the Mariners. And that lead now up to 4 after the net violation against the Dragons. Mascarenas serving. The outstanding Brazilian product for this VIU team. Oh, that was using a different part of the body to get that one over. Huge dig out by Mascarenas onto the Dragons side. A hard-fought point here. Chipped up by Pike. Stepping into it now. Lozier is going to lock down that point.
That rally had a little bit of everything, as we'll see with this replay. Almost hit the rafters, got a hit off the head. There's the play that finished it off there. That big swing there by Lozier. Mariners up 10-5 here. 5-point lead, highest of the set. Can the Dragons claw their way back into this one?
We'll find out after this timeout. 4 Imprint is the presenting sponsor of the Players of the Match. 4 Imprint providing the items awarded to the Players of the Match. And speaking of who might be given that designation, we'll have our sideline reporter, Zach Benoit, who is currently enjoying some pizza. A bit later, he's going to be enjoying an interview with the player of the game from the winning side.
Tell you what, Matt, after this game, I think I'm gonna go grab a slice or 5 of that pizza.
Yeah, 5 slices of Pizza Nova sounds pretty good right now. Pizza Nova, the official no.
Serving after the break for the Mariners,
That pizza, official pizza sponsor of the CCAA is still up for grabs, partner. by the sounds of it.
We're taking applications. Maybe not, but big kill there.
Let's take another look. 10-6 our score now after that authoritative shot out of the timeout. And true to form, the Dragons benefiting from that timeout is getting the first point, but going to give it right back with that service error.
Dragons still down by 5. They need this set.
Ooh, just out of reach. Owen Dick not happy with that serve. So a couple of service errors traded back and forth. To and fro. 4-point lead for the Mariners. Dick over to Torres. Kept alive here. Off the net hit from Cotreau.
Missed wide.
Serving the Mariners, number 12, is Torres.
No CCAA All-Canadians on this VIU team. However, they have the Pac West Rookie of the Year. He's serving right now. And what a serve it was from number 12. Free ball. Good block there. Sainte-Anne on point.
Serving is number 6, Joshua.
Another look at that play, that one serve back for the Dragons. There's that block. Max McDonald just couldn't get it over Oliver Rutherford. Rutherford leading his team in blocks on the season in the ACAA.
That one put up on a platter for the Dragons, but somehow VIU keeps it alive. But it's the momentum in favor of the team from Nova Scotia, as this now is a 12-9 game.
Great rally there for the Dragons, as they just found a way to keep the pressure on there, all culminating in that beautiful kill.
Five digs in this game for Joshua Coyne. His serve is put into play. Torres just volleys it over. Off the net here from Alec. Now Dick sets it up for Lozier. And draws the attention of the officials. Didn't quite get it through the right side of that post.
Everyone was on that, including head coach Jason Mellinson of the Dragons. Joshua Coyne at the line.
Lozier is going to find that one down the line. And Mariners lead back to 3 here. Mariners have been leading much of this set. Saw that timeout earlier on from Sainte-Anne. That kind of helped turn the tide a bit in favor of the Dragons, but VIU looks like they're gearing back up, laying on some pressure here. Cotreau, beautiful cross-court shot, beating the block and finding the open lane.
Number 12 on the day in terms of kills for Cotreau. Another look at that. There's that big left hand once again going cross-court. Him and Lucas Torres battling for the kills lead, as well as Dominic Lozier on VIU. All in the double digits.
So head coach for this Sainte-Anne Dragons team, Jason Mellinson, he's got to be proud of the effort here late in this game being shown by his team. Coach Mellinson, also the ACAA Coach of the Year. So congratulations to him for that distinction. Great job there out east. Out of the reach of Torres. Dragons roaring back here.
Torres took a tumble going after that one. Dragons found a way to claw back into this one, despite being down the whole time here in this 4th set. Really digging their heels into the ground.
The score was 10-5 at that timeout. Since then, it's been a 7-4 run for this Sainte-Anne team.
Great job finding the corner.
Serving for the Mariners is number 2, Dominic Lucier.
Kill number 12 for Lozier.
Lozier's service kept in play, off fingertips. No,
Nope.
Officials say that one was just hit long.
Serving is number 2, Dominic Lucier.
Mariners lead grows to 4 now. Andrew, this is pretty big for VIU to hopefully, in their books, close things out here in set number 4.
Yeah, you do not want to let this one bleed into a 5th set just like they did last night.
Torres off the net, somehow kept alive. Give credit to Vincent Doucette. And Doucette's effort ultimately leads to the scoring play. Sainte-Anne back within 3.
Good throw there. Getting the right hand up there. Or not Cotreau, excuse me. That was Jeremy Bork.
Cotreau serving now, the ACAA Player of the Year. Service ace.
And he's the best at that in his league in the ACAA. That'll force VIU to use their first timeout here in the 4th set.
And Coach Abe Avender for the Mariners, pleading with his team to stay cool, take care of business here in set 4. But here's the play that sent us into the timeout, the service ace from the ACAA Player of the Year.
Great slow-mo there, just a few inches there in front of that back line. A perfectly placed serve there by Cotreau. He's been so much fun to watch there from behind that service line. 14 kills on the game. That ties Lucas Torres.
And the timeout is broken. It's back to volleyball here, 16-14 in this bronze medal quarterfinal game. Cotreau with another howitzer, beating the dig of Lozier. And right out of the timeout, not what the Mariners were hoping for, as the momentum continues for the team out of Nova Scotia.
Cotreau with the ankle breaker there, sending Lozier to the ground. Trying to get that one.
I might break an ankle running for that pizza once this game's over, partner. I can smell it coming from the back of the gym over there. Get that Jostens medical tape on standby in case I roll up an ankle on the way to that pizza after this game.
Veerburn medical tape.
That's right, of course.
Soft touch.
Off the net, and electing for a soft touch was Torres, but not enough power to make it over the net there.
Now just a 1-point game and a chance to tie it up for Gabriel Beaton. Was used sparingly in last night's game against Humber. Just 1 kill on 1 attempt in 2 sets.
Torres steps into it. The block is on point for Sainte-Anne, who are looking like this 4th set might be theirs. We're all tied up.
And boy, oh boy, has the complexion of this set changed. Joshua O'Coin, the setter, getting all over that one. Just 1 block on the year, but he made that one count.
Mariners got to be kicking themselves. What do we have to do to finish out a game here? Wow. As the lead is now surrendered to Sainte-Anne. And there's VIU out of camera shot, but they're huddled up and they're just trying to regroup and talking to each other. Got to stay cool here. And Torres, make no mistake, and that's a step in the right direction, courtesy of the kill from the Pac West Rookie of the Year.
It's crunch time really here, 18 all. Each team has a timeout here. This one ain't over yet. A long way left to go in this fourth set. Sure to be another few twists and turns here down the stretch.
Winnipeg's Owen Dick sends it in play. Good dig that time for Carter Monroe. Torres, another soft touch. And the block there. Max McDonald. Big time block from number 9.
There's that big play there, that block by Max McDonald. Owen Dick at the service line.
Boy, closing out these games for VIU has been anything but easy street. Sainte-Anne with a nice blast. That time off the hands of third-year player Jeb Bork.
Serving for the Dragons, number 5, Jeremy Bork.
And it's Jeb now with the serve.
Bork struggled yesterday against Humber. 2 kills and 2 errors on 10 swings. Just 1 dig, 3 blocks, having a much better game today.
Teed up by Monroe, off to Torres now. Off the hands of Rutherford, and VIU back in the lead, 20-19.
I bet we're gonna see each team just trading points here. Torres, and just to get that one through the block. Rutherford not there in time.
Torres has such a good serve, but he hits the tape, and we're all knotted up at 20.
Like I said before, just give him 20 points,
you
right?
You called it, partner.
I mean, taking a page out of your book, so.
Yeah, I fancy myself the clairvoyant broadcaster, but sometimes that is proven to not be the case. Good teed up shot. What a dig by the Dragons to keep it alive. But not going to be able to chase that one down as that point goes to VIU.
Substitution here. Mascarenas back in the game as we get a replay of that. LP making a diving attempt to go after that loose ball, just can't come up with it.
VIU looking to get their first win of the tournament. In both games they've played, they've been up 2-0, but have been unable to quickly finish things off. But they have that chance here in set number 4 against the Dragons.
The Dragons used their timeout. Doesn't look like it.
Sigurdsson serve in play. Teed up there for LP LeBlanc, but the block is there, and the Mariners in the driver's seat late in the set. Timeout called by the Dragons.
There's that big block there, leading to that 3-point lead. 2 points from the Mariners, securing their spot in the bronze semifinals. And what do you know? More Michael Jackson. Man, let me tell you about the way you make me feel.
Well done, partner. It's a love song I wrote about the pizza waiting for me in the other room once this game's over. What a big lead for VIU here, Andrew. 23-20. And I say big, it's only 3 points, but it's when it matters most. And both teams were knotted up at 20, but what a time to go on a run. Now, of course, Sainte-Anne is hoping to cool the jets here, slow the roll of the Dragons. Pardon me, the Mariners, but we'll find out as the timeout is now over. Teed up out of the timeout, off the head, and finding a way to get that point.
Wow.
Now trail by 2.
Some bad luck there for Philip Tritel. Strange he started this game, but after that first set, we didn't really see much of him. Now all of a sudden back in here to close this one out. Interesting decision here by Abe Avender, head coach of VIU.
Louis-Philippe LeBlanc sends it in. Torres tries to dig it out. This one's going to be a free opportunity. Teed up for Quatreau. Torres keeps it alive. Lozier's shot popped up. At the net now. Big block. And beaten. This is just a scrambling rally. Still alive here, but putting the nail in the coffin is Alec Quatreau.
Who else for the Dragons, right, Matt? 16 kills on the game for him. What an afternoon it's been. That big left hand once again. That was a play earlier where it kind of got tangled up in the back of Tritel.
So back-to-back points out of that timeout for the Dragons. And they are in a much better position here. And like we mentioned, this is do or die time. They drop this set, this game is over. And their bronze, their hopes of coming away with some hardware at this tournament would be over. And that's true for either of these teams.
Obviously want to go home with some hardware coming from out of province especially. Win today, you're into that bronze semifinal against the loser of this next matchup that we're going to see, Fanshawe versus Camosun.
Yeah, I got the Fanshawe coaching staff sitting behind us here on the right side of your screen. You can make them out. Now, unlike the Fanshawe players, the coaching staff not quite as moved to be dancing with the Michael Jackson music.
I wonder why.
Not surprising. Keeping it a little more on the up and up.
A little bit more professional.
Players having fun. You love to see it. Torres digs it out. Off the head and out of bounds. Beautiful work from Daniel Mascarenas. VIU one more point away from winning this game.
There's that big hit there by Mascarenas off of Rutherford. But deflected behind that Dragons bench.
Ball in the hand of Ben Pike.
Chance for VIU to close this one out.
Big serve, that is kept in play. Quatreau's shot just out of reach of Monroe. And for the time being, the Dragons remain in this one. Can the team from Nova Scotia, who've shown so much fight and heart in this tournament, I'd love to see their fan base in the crowd here as well throughout these games, but their team is going to have to be perfect here on these next 2 points. There's a big one.
What just happened? Matt, I'm speechless. I can't believe this.
A huge service ace from Olivier Rutherford. First-year player shining here at the big national tournament. Monroe digs that out. And now it's the Mariners with the advantage after Mascarenas puts his team up. Win by 2 in effect here.
Look at that big hit by Mascarenas. Catching that back line.
The tall player by way of Brazil. And now it's Lozier. Quatreau is blocked and out of bounds, tied up at 25. VIU's trying to figure out what they have to do to close this set out, but Dragons showing so much grit. Serve coming up from the Atlantic Player of the Year. And he sends it long, so that shifts the scales back in the favor of the team from BC.
Quatreau doesn't go easy on any of these serves, clearly kind of playing on the edge. Unfortunately for him, just a little too far. Chance for VIU to close this out again.
Mascarenas with the soft serve.
Oh my.
Somehow being kept alive. Mascarenas bumps it over. And this rally continues. Torres to Mascarenas. Torres with a big hit.
Off bounds too by Torres.
Yeah, this is just a bizarre rally, but the stakes could not be higher. Torres steps in. Beautiful dig. And Beaton is responsible for keeping this rally alive for the time being. Soft touch from Torres. Sent back to Torres, blocked.
Holy smokes.
What a rally, back and forth. Oh my goodness, it was over the net, and there it is, the final play. Owen Dick, the off-balance shot. Sainte-Anne is devastated, but you got to give them all the credit in the world. A great volleyball game here, but VIU seals the deal. They're on their way to the bronze semifinal.
Wow. That was incredible, Matt. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot about, maybe the game of the tournament was that Sherbrooke VIU game. That was, I think, the rally of the tournament so far.
Close second in terms of game of the tournament, too.
Dramatic stuff. Now we'll have the player of the game announcements here. First
to make
up,
this presentation, please welcome David Laliberty, the VP Safe Sport and the CCAA. The player of the game for the University Sainte-Anne Dragons.
Sainte-Anne player of the game.
Number 5, Jeremy
Number
Bork.
5, Jeremy Bork, a.k.a. Jeb. Fantastic performance in this game from that young man.
The player of the game for the Vancouver Island University Mariners
VIU.
is number 8, Owen Dick.
Owen Dick, and a good performance, and no play bigger than that game-deciding play at the net in set number 4. It's the Mariners, after a day 1 opening round loss to Sherbrooke, find the W here today, move on to that bronze semifinal tomorrow. And in a moment, we'll have an interview with our sideline reporter, Zach Benoit, and the player of the game for the victorious side, Owen Dick. Andrew, we have another game coming up after this. It's a very, very compelling matchup between the Fanshawe Falcons and the defending national champions, the Camosun Chargers. And then really, I think, maybe we're biased, but the game of the day, the game of the night, Thursday night volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on HSN between the home team Humber Hawks as they take on the Sherbrooke Volunteers.
Put on a show for us last night, don't forget, against these same VIU Mariners.
And Owen Dick making his way over to be interviewed by the one and only Zach Benoit. Just a few moments' time.
So about halfway through volleyball action here today. Good one here, Matt.
Well, game not quite over yet. Andrew, we're still waiting on that player of the game interview. It's coming right up here. But of course, we have so much exciting volleyball left here at the Hawks Nest. Andrew, what's been your impression of the tournament thus far?
Oh man, it's been a lot of great volleyball action. Very exciting here, obviously, about halfway through the tournament, and ups and downs, twists and turns, tons of surprises. Just about everything that we've seen in terms of action here on the court.
Yeah, you said it. Now, unfortunately, Zach Benoit will not be able to do the interview. He's too busy running off, getting some of that Pizza Nova. Welcome to the Humber Hawks postgame show.
Welcome to the Hawks Nest.
Thank you for watching this game. We appreciate you tuning in to CCAA Volleyball. The next game on the docket here on the Hawks Sports Network, a big semifinal matchup between Fanshawe and Camosun. Stay with us.